This is going to be our first color. And the way you apply paint to these big brushes is you use the top corner and you pull out like a streak like that. And then you tap your bristles into it. And what it does is it makes an even distribution of color throughout the brush. If you were to just pull it down a couple times and then go onto the canvas, you'd get big streaks of color because these paints are pretty thick, so you'd have like little clumps built up in the bristles. So by tapping it like that, it just takes out all the little chunks. We'll just put on a little bit of Indian yellow. And this color is continuously mixing with the liquid white that's already on the canvas. Let's pull some of this down here. Get a little bit more color. There we go. This is gonna be like a bright spot in the water. Okay, so now we have that blended out. We're going to go into some alizarin crimson. Just a little bit of that too. Same thing, you just pull out a little bit of it. Tap your bristles in. But you don't want a lot of paint. So if you get too much, just tap down your palette to get the majority of it off. And then we'll go over here. You just want to go slightly above the yellow you just put on. And then when you start blending this, where it's touching the yellow, it'll make like a peachy color. Alright, with the brush still dirty. What's up, frags? We're going to grab just a teeny tiny bit of Prussian blue. This is Prussian blue, and it is really, really, really strong. So all I'm doing is I'm grabbing that little amount on the bristle right there. It's that teeny amount, and then I'm going to go into crimson. Tap this in. This is blue and crimson. I'll make a darker purplish color. So we'll just go right above that red that we had put on. Switch hands. My hand's getting tired. Alright, now we got that on there. We're going to go right into Prussian blue. And this is the same brush. We haven't washed it yet. We originally started with that yellow color, and we just been adding color to it. put this up in the little corners. Okay, so now we're going to wash the brush. When you're washing your brush, you want to use an odorless cleaner. So if you're using turpentine or mineral spirits or whatever, make sure it's odorless. Alright, then with a clean, dry brush, make sure it's dry as well. If you have any kind of thinner on this, it'll just cut through all this paint down to the canvas, and it won't really look too good. So yeah, then you're just going to go back into the middle and start blending all this stuff together. You want to blend it so you can't really see like any distinct lines of color. So start in the middle and just slowly start working your way out. You're just trying to blend all this together. Real gentle, go across. There you go, you have a nice happy little sky. Take a step back, make sure it's blended. Yeah, that looks like it's blended well enough. Let's get this a little bit better. Let's get that a little better. That's better. Much better. Alright, so I'm just gonna mix up a little bit of purple. Use just a little bit of blue. A lot of crimson. A lot more crimson than blue. So when you're mixing color on your palette, scrape underneath it so you pick it all up and then flip it over. That'll ensure that everything is getting mixed. So sometimes if you just try mixing it on your brush, the back side of your palette will have like a layer of blue or whatever on the bottom, and then it'll just give you results you're not really wanting. Alright, so to check the color of this, you see how dark it is, you can't really tell what it's going to look like. So you just grab a little bit of white, put it off to the side, grab a little bit of the color, and then just rub it in, and you can see what your color will be like. So that's a pretty good color. I mean, we could actually take it a little bit more to the blue. So let's do that. I want this to be a little bit more on the blue. A little bit. Alright, so we'll grab some white. Put that over there. Grab some more color. There we go. You see how much darker that one is once you put more blue into it? Blue is really, really, really strong. Usually when you're making like a regular purple color, it's 3 parts alizarin crimson to 1 part Prussian blue. So blue is very, very strong. Alright, so we're going to put some water down here. Just grab a teeny tiny bit of paint that you just made, and just from the side, pull in. Try to keep these horizontal. Still water always lays flat. And we'll go from this side. And this is just putting color on. Alright, so now that you have that on, just go over it nice and light. Blends everything together. Alright, and so, what, that took maybe 5 minutes, and now we have our sky and we have our water. So now we clean the brush. Go. Nice dry, clean brush. Okay, so now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have kind of like some mountains right here. Maybe something kind of southwestern looking. So with that purple that we made, I'm just going to take a fan brush. This is the number 3 fan brush. Hey, what's up, Trap? So just go into that purple. And now when you're doing mountains, the only part you really care about is the outside edge. It doesn't matter what's underneath it at all. So we'll just start, we'll go right here. We'll go up and down, and then kind of bring it up again. Go down like that, and up. Just kind of bounce your brush around. Make a little mountain range however you want it to look. Alright, so now that you have that, you go with your big brush, and you're going to just pull some of this down. So I'm going to pull it out. There's our little mountain outline. So now we got to put highlights and lowlights on here. So in order to do that, you want to start with the peak that's furthest away. You finally listen to your fans. Nice. Yeah, I saw that, Frey. He's going to be on tonight making an announcement. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so we're going to put highlights on first, and then we'll go back in and put in shadows. So to do that, you want to get a good amount of paint on your brush. So we'll start with this one back here. So just really light, and you can kind of bounce your brush, and it'll put little breaks in the paint for you. Right, so now we'll go up to this one, and you want to make sure to follow the angles of the land. You know, you see how this one's really steep on this part? You want to follow that line. But again, you want a lot of paint on here. Let me show you how much paint I have. You can see it hanging off the end of the bristles. That's how much is on there. Alright, so then right here, I'm going to put some on. And if you don't want to use a brush, you can use a knife for this. Knife works really well. But I just figured I'd do it like this. We'll put just a teeny bit right there. Maybe just like a teeny bit right there. And then you just go back in and kind of put where you want like some kind of outcroppings and stuff. Like if you want this little peak right here to be set really far back, you can just take your white and join those two together like that, and then that forms like a little pocket in the back. So it's just a nice easy way of doing it. And then very, very gently go over all the highlights you just put in. Very gently. You're not trying to really do anything on this part except for smooth it out just a hair. Just a hair. Some weird little clump right there. What the hell is that? It's like a little pebble or something. And then just go back here and there. Alright, now we gotta put in our shadow color. So for that you just grab a tiny, tiny bit of blue. Tiny bit. Blue is very, very, very strong. Alright, so since you started with the furthest on this side, you want to go with the furthest on this side and work that way. Because we went from this direction over. When you're doing your highlights, if you go from left to right, do your lowlights right to left. And then vice versa. It just makes it a lot easier for you. So we'll go right here. Oh, just a little darker. A little darker. Yeah, that's better. Go right here. Pull that down. Over here. Pull that down. And if you want to make this peak further back, you can take this blue color and pull right through like that. And you see how it kind of pushes that little part back further? Put some little shadows in here. Make this pretty dark back in here. And then just here and there, wherever you think there should be little shadows, just drop them in. Let me pile this up. There, that's better. Alright, now let's grab some more white. And we'll put on another layer of snow, like in the, kind of like down here, just to give it a little bit more of a natural look. Grab the fan brush. Let me grab a different fan brush because that one has blue on it. Oh, god damn it. I just just dropped the lid of my liquid white into my wash bucket. Alright, now grab a little liquid white. Mix it with titanium white. Alright, now let's put some... where should we put some more snow? I mean, it looks pretty good on stream. Let's put some over here. Alright, so whenever you put in a highlight, you need to put in a low light. Just the way it is. There we go. Alright, so it looks like there's like a ridge coming down and in front now. And then if you want, you can still put more stuff in here too, you know. You can do it however you want. So once you get your mountains put in, you're going to tap the base of it to make it look misty. And while you're doing it, you got to make sure that you follow the angles that your land has. You don't want to just come straight across the bottom. Just follow the angles. And then over here, you gotta go this way. And then very gentle, pull up. Alright, so now we have our little mountain range. Oh, so now we can start working on the foreground. I think I'll just put like some bushy things right there. So to do that, I'm going to grab the big brush, or the big fan brush, I mean. The number 6. Make sure it's nice and dry. Why is there a big chunk of paint on here? There we go. Nice and dry. So now we're going to go into that purple color. Get a lot of paint on your brush. And then we're just going to start kind of in the middle and work outward. I'm just going to push some bushes in here. So to do this, you just touch and push up. Just like that. Touch and push up. Get some more paint. Alright, there. We got a nice big clump of bushes back there. Now I'm going to grab a 2-inch brush, nice and clean. We're going to put some reflections in here, so just at the very, very bottom, You're just going to grab it and pull down. And go straight down with these. And a good little trick is when you're doing these reflections in the middle, just pull it down a little distance. And then as you work out, start pulling down further. Apply more pressure. And what it does is it makes it look like this is further back. It makes it look like it's going like that. Just because your reflections are arching like that. So it's just a little trick you can do. Well, thanks, Sammy. Alright, so let's see what else we're gonna do. I don't think we really need to do a whole lot more. We could cut some land in it, I guess. But we'll worry about that in a second. Alright, so now we want to put maybe a couple trees back there. I'll just use the same fan brush. It's already dirty. We're using that same purple we've been using. Alright, so we'll put, I don't know, we'll put like a little teeny tree, a little teeny pine over here. Actually, let's make that a little bigger. Make it a little bit bigger. Alright, there's one. I need to mix up some more purple. Alright, there we go. Go back into your purple. I'll put like another one right here. So to do these, you're just touching the corner of the fan brush. And then you just kind of go back and forth, left and right while you're going down. And you can go as slow or as fast as you like, you know. Let's put another one like right here. So you just touch, touch, touch. And you're just using the corner of the fan brush, and as you get further down, you put more pressure. And that's what will automatically, it'll make your tree just spread out automatically, I guess you could call it. It's too late, can't take it back, you already said it. Alright, let's do another one. Right there. So, I'll try to get out of the way so you guys can see it. But you're just touching. That's all there is to it. Super duper easy. Right, I gotta stop putting in these little trees because I'm gonna have a bunch of trees over here and probably like a big one right here too. So I don't want to cover up like the entire canvas just to have to paint over it again. Okay, so there. We have some good little background pines now. So now I'm going to put some highlights on everything back here. And I think for that we're going to do... let's make this like an autumn painting. So we'll do like a lot of like reds and yellows and stuff for the highlights. So I'm just going to go down here. These are all like the yellows, and this is permanent red. So we'll just mix up. We'll take some red, some Indian yellow, a little yellow ochre, a little cad yellow, just all the yellows and red. Makes a nice orangey color. Alright, so for this, get your paint, and then right above the purple, just tap in some of this orange color. You know, kind of be like the highlights on top. And then once you have those, go down to the coastline. Do another set. Now I'm going to have to make up a bunch more paint. Alright, red, Indian yellow, yellow ochre, cad yellow. There we go. Now we have paint. Alright, go back in here, go to our little bushes, tap in some of this. You can't take it back. Caught slipping indeed. It's funny, whenever I hear the word slippin', I always get an Eazy-E lyric stuck in my head. It's his No More Questions song. It's like he's getting interviewed, you know, and like he'll get asked a question and then it goes into a verse. And one of the questions the interviewer was asked was, "Easy, have you ever been caught slipping?" "Hell no." Good old E. Sucks that he died, man. Alright, so on these back trees, I'm going to use that same orange color, but I'm just going to put a tiny bit on there. You don't want to see a lot of highlights on these, just because they're so far away. The only way you would really see these highlights is if you're looking at this thing in person. You just want a teeny tiny amount. Alright, now we have ourselves a happy little background. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do here is just cut in a water line. So to do that, you just grab a little bit of your liquid white, put it on your palette, pull it out really, really thin. And then you take your knife and you cut across it. And it puts a little roll of paint on the top edge of the knife. And then you just touch it and pull. And since the liquid white is a liquid, it'll come right off of that knife. If you were trying to do this with paint, it'd kind of be a pain in the butt. Just because the paint's so much thicker. So there's our little water line back there. Now we'll put like a clump right here that has like a peninsula coming out. So to do that, we just use that same purple color we've been using. I guess I'm going to have to make up a new pile of that. Remember number 8? Make no mistake. Oh my god. You know the song. There's a store. Don't point. Walked inside. Case the joint. One man behind the counter. Another with a something. Dude, Eazy-E was my favorite. I think he was a lot of people's favorite. And then he got GG'd by AIDS. Alright, now we'll get some purple. Alright, so let's put in some land right here. But in this land, you just smash the brush into the canvas, pretty much. Alright, so now that you have that dark on, you're going to go back in with your big brush, pull out some reflections, and very gently go across. So when you pull across like that, what it does is it makes the paint move, and it kind of makes it look like a shimmer of water going across it. It's either that or the conspiracy, you know? A lot of people are claiming that he got dirty needled. Alright, so now we got to cut a little water line down there too. So just go back into your liquid white, cut across, and you get that little itty bitty roll. Touch it to the canvas, and then just kind of cut right into the canvas. You really don't have to worry about hurting the canvas. You won't cut through it or anything. There's a little water line right there. Now we'll put some pines right there. I think we're going to have to make up some more paint, because I am almost out. So we'll put this down. Alright, alizarin crimson. So we'll take a big old clump of crimson, and a tiny bit of blue. And start mixing all this stuff together again. We'll pick it up and turn it over a couple times, just to make sure nothing is stuck on the bottom of the palette. Alright. Let's go back into here. So when you're loading this, kind of wiggle it back and forth. And what this is doing is it's pulling all of the paint down to the tips of the bristles. And then you pull it through on each side a couple times. And it brings it to a nice sharp point. And let's go right here. We're just going to put in some more little trees. So you just touch with the corner and slowly start moving down and applying more pressure. If it starts getting too light, just grab some more paint. Just go back in. Okay, do a couple more. But you want a lot of paint in the brush. You want it really loaded up. A lot of paint in there. Grab some more paint. Nice little back and forth. Alright, grab some more. Go right here. There you go. Now we have some little pines right there. And you can just take your knife and cut in a couple little chunks. Just put a couple little random ones like that. So now when you're going to highlight these, you want to start with the tree that is furthest back. So I'm going to do the left one furthest, the right one second, and this taller one, that'll be the one in front. So go into that orange color. And you just do the same thing, very gently. Start tapping, going back and forth. Now these ones are actually going to have a bit more highlight than the ones back there. You'll actually be able to see the highlight on these. Alright, now we'll do this one in the front. And then when you get close to the bottom, just start going darker and lighter. There you go, just like that. We have our little trees. So now we got to put highlights on these little bushes right here. So to do that, we'll grab a clean 1-inch brush. I'm going to use some of this liquid white just because it sticks better. So go into this liquid white and go over here to the orange. You want a decent amount of paint on the bristles. You don't need a ton, but you want enough. Just a couple different little colors every once in a while, just to mix it up. And when you load color on the brush, all those individual colors are in the bristles. They don't become like one homogeneous color. So it's a good way to load your brush. You can get a lot of different color on there. So just go into all the different yellows. It's really all you're doing. A little yellow ochre, a little Indian yellow, a little bright red. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. So if you want like this color reflected, all you have to do is just tap some of this color like that, and then you grab your big brush and pull that down. Pull down, and then very gently go across. And see, now you can see some of this reflected down into the water. Alright, so now we'll do something over here. I don't want to cover up this mountain though, so I gotta kind of be careful about that. So I think we'll just put some land. Let's go right here. Now, the good thing about using this big brush is that it covers the area really quickly for you. And we're just putting color on right here. Alright. We got a hair mixed in there, or a bristle. Alright, let's grab this crimson, grab some blue. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, there we go. So now we'll do we're going to cover up some of the mountain. That's all there is to it. So again, when you're loading the brush, wiggle it, wiggle it, and then just go through and sharpen it. Gives you a nice sharp edge. Alright, so we'll go where do we want to go? We'll go right there. We're going there now. Got ourselves a big tree. Big, big, big tree. Nice big tree right there. Big, big, big. Alright, now we gotta put a little trunk in there. So I'll just grab a little bit of Van Dyke. There we go. So just go right into Van Dyke. And put a little trunk going down. There we go. Go back with our fan brush. Just here and there, cover up the trunk. And then when we put highlights on, it'll cover up some more of it. Alright, now we're going to go into the oranges. Oh no! Fuck! You gotta be kidding. I just broke my fan brush. God, dude. I wonder if I can do it like this. Well, we'll see if it's gonna work. Alright, grab some yellow, Indian yellow, yellow ochre, bright red. Mix them all together. Here we go. This is gonna be tough. We'll see if we can do it. Alright, let's go up here. This actually works kind of well. This is the same thing, you're just tapping, going left to right. Applying more pressure as you're going down. And once you get down here, you just want to go real light. You wouldn't see too many highlights down there. Alright, so there's a big old tree. Now we gotta put a bunch of highlights down here. So grab some liquid white. And then from here on out, I'm just gonna be going into like all the different colors. I'm gonna be going into like the yellows, the reds. Just grab little individual bushes. And start doing something like this. Some red. So all you're doing is just mixing colors. whatever you want to put on. But you want to try to pick out like little individual bushes. Grab a little red, put that right out there. Make it look nice and pretty out there. But you see how I'm leaving dark in here? You need that dark. It separates all these little clumps. Otherwise they would just turn into one big mass of color. You wouldn't be able to see any kind of depth. So then what you do is gonna go in and scratch in some little sticks and twigs and stuff. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to, but it just kind of looks good. Makes it look like there's all kinds of stuff in here. And I know you guys can't see this on stream. Yeah, it's looking pretty good on there. Good. Good, good, good. Alright, so there's just one little spot down here in the corner I need to get. I think we just about have a finished painting here, folks.